Deep in the heart of New Orleans, where the air hums with the soulful notes of jazz, the scent of spicy gumbo lingers, and cobblestone streets wind through the historic French Quarter, stands a place that chills the blood of even the bravest souls. The LaLaurie Mansion, located at 1140 Royal Street, is a monument to beauty and terror, a grand edifice cloaked in a grim legacy. Known as New Orleans' House of Horrors, this mansion is no mere urban legend. It is a dark chapter etched into the annals of American history. Its walls, steeped in unspeakable cruelty, are said to hold the anguished cries of those who suffered within. Join World Mysteries as we unravel the spine-chilling tale of the LaLaurie Mansion, where the past refuses to rest and the echoes of torment linger in the shadows. In the early 19th century, New Orleans was a vibrant crossroads of French, Spanish, and African cultures, a city of opulence and mystery. At the center of its high society stood Madame Delphine LaLaurie, a woman whose beauty and charisma captivated all who met her. Born in 1787 to a prominent Creole family, Delphine was a widow of considerable wealth by the time she became a fixture in New Orleans' elite circles. With her raven-black hair, piercing eyes, and an air of effortless grace, she hosted lavish soirees at her Royal Street mansion, where the city's most influential figures gathered to revel in her hospitality. Delphine's third marriage, to Dr. Louis LaLaurie, a dashing physician much younger than her, only added to her mystique. The couple's home, a three-story architectural marvel adorned with intricate ironwork and grand chandeliers, was the envy of the French Quarter. Yet beneath the glittering surface, something sinister stirred. Whispers began to spread among the townsfolk. The enslaved individuals who served in the LaLaurie household seemed to vanish without explanation. Those who remained appeared gaunt, their eyes hollow with fear, and some bore marks of abuse that no one dared question. Neighbors reported hearing strange noises at night, muffled screams, the clank of metal, and an unsettling hum that seemed to seep from the mansion's walls. The facade of perfection was beginning to crack. The morning of April 10, 1834, changed everything. A fire erupted in the mansion's kitchen, its flames licking up the walls and sending plumes of smoke into the sky. As firefighters and concerned citizens rushed to the scene, they broke through the heavy doors, expecting to save lives. Instead, they stumbled upon a nightmare. In a locked attic chamber, hidden from the world, they discovered a scene of unimaginable horror. Dozens of enslaved people were chained to the walls, their bodies ravaged by torture. Some had been mutilated, their limbs twisted or severed. Others were emaciated, their skin clinging to bones from starvation. Strange medical instruments, stained with blood, lay scattered about, hinting at grotesque experiments. The air was thick with the stench of decay, punctuated by the faint, desperate moans of those still clinging to life. The discovery sent shockwaves through New Orleans. An outraged mob gathered outside the mansion, their cries for justice echoing through the streets. But Madame LaLaurie, ever cunning, had anticipated the chaos. Before the crowd could seize her, she slipped away, reportedly fleeing in a carriage under the cover of darkness. Some say she sailed to Paris, where she lived out her days in luxury under a new identity. Others claim she never left Louisiana, hiding in the shadows of the bayou. Her fate remains a mystery, but the horrors she left behind would forever stain the mansion. In the aftermath of the fire, the LaLaurie Mansion stood abandoned, its once grand halls now a hollow shell. Yet its story was far from over. Locals began calling it the haunted house, a place where the air felt heavy with unseen eyes. Those who passed by at night swore they heard screams or the eerie sound of chains dragging across the floorboards. Shadows flickered in the windows, though the mansion was locked and empty. Children were warned to steer clear, told tales of spirits that snatched anyone foolish enough to cross the threshold. Over the decades, the mansion changed hands many times. Each new owner hoped to restore its former glory, but none could endure its oppressive atmosphere. One resident, a wealthy merchant, recounted waking each night to the sound of footsteps pacing the halls, only to find no one there. Another claimed to see blood seeping from the walls, pooling on the floor before vanishing without a trace. A tenant in the 1870s, desperate to flee, described waking to the sensation of invisible hands tightening around his throat. These stories, whispered in taverns and parlors, cemented the mansion's reputation as one of America's most haunted places. The LaLaurie Mansion is a magnet for paranormal investigators, psychics, and thrill-seekers drawn to its dark allure. In the early 2000s, a team of ghost hunters equipped with audio recorders and infrared cameras spent a night inside. They emerged shaken, claiming to have captured disembodied voices, whispers pleading for mercy and cries of agony. One investigator reported feeling a sudden, bone-chilling cold in the attic, accompanied by the unmistakable sensation of being watched. The team's recordings, later analyzed, revealed faint words. "Help us, please." Tourists, too, have their tales. During a midnight ghost tour, a young woman paused before the mansion, her camera raised to snap a photo. As she looked through the lens, she froze, later recounting how she saw a figure in a tattered dress staring back from an upper window. The photo, when developed, showed only an empty frame. Another visitor, a skeptic by nature, felt an icy hand graze his neck as he stood on the sidewalk. A voice, low and urgent, whispered, "Leave this place." He ran, heart-pounding, and never returned to the French Quarter. Residents of nearby homes report their own eerie experiences. One woman, living across the street, claims that on stormy nights, the mansion's windows glow with a sickly green light, though no electricity runs through its walls. Another neighbor, an elderly man, swears he saw a woman in a white gown on the balcony, her face obscured by shadow, motionless as she stared into the night. These accounts, passed down through generations, keep the mansion's legend alive, a beacon of dread in the heart of New Orleans. Today, the LaLaurie Mansion has been transformed into luxury apartments, its exterior polished to reflect the charm of the French Quarter. Yet its dark history clings like damp rot. Tenants rarely stay long, driven out by unexplained phenomena. One resident, a young lawyer, found strange scratches etched into her bedroom door each morning, though she lived alone. Another, a musician, recorded what he thought was ambient noise for his work, only to discover faint screams embedded in the audio. Even the most skeptical renters admit to feeling an oppressive weight in the air, as if the mansion itself resents their presence. The mansion remains a cornerstone of New Orleans ghost tours, drawing crowds eager to hear its gruesome tale. Guides, with their lanterns and dramatic flair, recount the story of Madame LaLaurie and the atrocities committed within. Yet, even they hesitate to linger too long. One guide, a veteran of the tours, confided that she once saw a child's face pressed against a window, its eyes hollow and pleading, though the mansion was empty that night. The tours end with a warning. Never stare too long at the mansion, lest you catch the attention of something that stares back. The LaLaurie Mansion is more than a site of historical horror. It's a puzzle with missing pieces. What drove Madame LaLaurie to commit such atrocities? Was it madness, sadism, or something darker? Perhaps a pact with forces beyond comprehension? Some speculate that the mansion itself is a conduit, a place where the veil between worlds is thin, trapping the souls of those who suffered within. Others believe Delphine's spirit lingers, bound to the house as punishment for her crimes. Historical records offer little clarity. Most documents about Delphine were lost or destroyed, and the stories that survive are tangled with myth. Did she truly escape to France, or did she meet a grimmer fate? Were the tortures in the attic the work of one woman, or was Dr. LaLaurie complicit in her horrors? These questions haunt historians and paranormal enthusiasts alike, ensuring the mansion's story remains alive. If you find yourself in New Orleans, venture to the French Quarter on a moonless night and stand before the LaLaurie Mansion. Listen to the silence, broken only by the distant wail of a saxophone or the creak of an old shutter. Feel the weight of unseen eyes watching from the shadows. If you're bold, gaze up at the balcony. Perhaps you'll see a figure, cloaked in white, its gaze piercing through the darkness. But be warned, some things once seen cannot be unseen. Thank you for joining World Mysteries on this journey into the chilling heart of the LaLaurie Mansion. If this tale gripped you, subscribe for more stories of the strange and sinister from around the globe. The past is never truly gone, and some secrets demand to be heard. Will you dare to listen?